Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin Stern coming at you with what will be the first of at least 2 meals out of this Z-Ration, this zombie ration from allmres.com. And this is a 24-hour version, the red bag. The black bag is the single meal version. There's no menu on here because this is a custom. So on the site, just like you can do with rations you can get from Ration or Minotaur Trading Company, you can specify the components you want in this 24-hour ration, and it is based off of the First Strike ration. But what you can do with these custom ones is you can specify either wet pack retort pouches that you could either eat straight out of the pouch, as is, for instance, a wet pack fruit, or a wet pack side or entree that you could either heat up with a flameless ration heater or boil it, or some other method of heating it, or eat straight out of the pouch. And it has been several months since I ordered this. I did not save the invoice when I got this, so I don't even remember what the choices were. So it's going to be like a surprise. But just in case that I did have wet packed items, I did put some water going on the stove because I don't know if these come with an FRH or not. Plus, I'm going to be having a hot drink. Anyway, I don't know what the drinks are that are in this, but in case there is no hot drink, I can grab one of these 3-in-1 Nescafe coffees that I got for free. Last week I had the French vanilla, and then the other one is just the original. I just have them in this Ziploc bag so I can just keep them handy. This bag does not have a zip seal. It does not have a tear notch. So I am just going to take my cheaters here and just cut it open. Actually, I don't think I cut low enough, so I'll have to do that again. I'm doing this off camera, so it's easier for me to see where I'm cutting so that I get it right. There we go. Now I'll start pulling out everything that I have in here, and then from there I will decide what I'm going to have for supper. Chocolate peanut spread. So it's a combination of chocolate and peanut butter. A commercial package of corn nuts. These are ranch flavor. A chocolate chip cereal bar. So it's basically, think of a chocolate chip cookie, but in the form of a compressed bar. These you would get in first strike rations or maybe some long range patrol rations or something like that. Military energy gum. This is the Cool Mint. Moist Towelette. This is the first time I've seen them with it. It's kind of a flag themed. Applesauce cake. And it looks like it got a little bent, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Chipotle tortillas. I have had these before. I do like them. I wouldn't mind these showing up in more MREs. This is a Bridgeford product. It's a sandwich wrap. Seasoned beef with Mexican spices. So it's basically a flatbread with some spiced beef inside it. Here is a wet pack item. Cherry cobbler. I could either heat this up or eat this straight out of the pouch. Another flag, different style of the Moist Towelette, so there'll probably be a couple of those in here. A knife, fork, and spoon with napkin and salt and pepper. But I have my foreign emery spork, so. Cheese spread with jalapenos. Can't go wrong with that. Chicken burrito bowl. This is an entree that I have been wanting to try since I first heard about it. This is a Nescafe Taster's Choice. But this is just the coffee itself. It's not a 3-in-1. Unlike these. Chocolate first strike bar. A grape flavored Propel. That's a sports drink. And then the last thing in here is this monster size FRH. And this is a bag of salt water with a huge heating pad. And this is the same type of water pouch that was in the Chef 5-Minute Meals, which I reviewed. But this is a seriously long bag, and it's a lot wider than a standard US flameless ration heater. So I will actually save this for later use. And since I do have a pan of water on the stove boiling, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some of these items back. So there isn't really much in here as far as a breakfast would go. That would be where the cereal, the cookie bar would come in, or maybe the First Strike bar. But there are no crackers in here, so this could be another thing that you could just eat on the fly. You just open up a corner and just suck it right out of the pouch. But this Propel I will mix up. But this Taster's Choice, I'm going to swap that out for one of the coffees that CT sent me. The 3-in-1. So I think the chicken burrito bowl with these tortillas will be my dinner tonight, unless you would rather see this open up. So what I do not open up tonight, I will go for next time. So this Bridgeford wrap. But since there's nothing really to put this chocolate peanut spread on, I will save this for another time, because I don't think it would go too well with the applesauce cake. Now that would be one that the cream cheese icing from Minotaur Trading Company or Ration would come in handy for this. That would be good on this. So but the cheese spread will stay. This chocolate chip cereal bar I'll sit on. But I will get into these corn nuts. And I may, I'll save this chocolate First Strike bar for next time as well, because I don't know, I could still have it tonight. Or this cherry cobbler, what I could do is I could actually crush up this bar and mix it in with the cherry cobbler. I think that would be interesting. So that could be a dessert for next time. And of course, I'm not a gum chewer, but I saved this gum because these would be a good caffeine boost. This is caffeinated gum. So if you need energy but do not have the time to drink coffee, or you do not want to have to heat water up for coffee, or you're on the move but you need some energy, this stuff would be great to put in a get-home bag, a bug-out bag, or some other emergency kit, a vehicle emergency kit. Which I don't have because I don't have a vehicle. But if you have one and you want to put something in that kit that could help you or even someone else out, something like this would go good in it. So again, here is the Foreign Emery spork. I'm just going to set aside the items that I'm not going to be using tonight. Just so they're out of the way. In fact, I'll put them back in this bag. So that will be for next time. When I go into the kitchen, I'll just get something that I can put my trash in after I put the tortillas on top of the pot lid, and I'll put the cheese on top of the pot lid to warm it up. So I'm just going to put these over here. So that is what the regular flavor of the Nescafe 3-in-1 looks like. Propels are made for a standard size water bottle, but I'm just going to mix it in my drinking jar. It definitely has an artificial grape smell to it, but the powder itself is white. But the drink itself, it's like the ones that you can get from Minotaur Trading Company and Ration. It is not purple. So there is no color. You can just tell by the very, very slightly opaque color. It looks like extremely watered down skim milk. And speaking of foreign MRE, look who just showed up. And Aletha is in the house. So what I'm going to do is I'll put my mug there. I'm going to go into the kitchen. And I'll be right back. As I stir this, as you saw in my last mail call that I got from Foreign Emery, I got that Norwegian Arctic field ration. So I have put that in the lineup. Right now it is currently last in the box, but I could reposition that. So there is my coffee all mixed up. So Foreign Emery got in a box of assorted Arctic field rations, either breakfast with muesli or some other breakfast item, or it would have a vegetarian, at least what I saw in there was a vegetarian items. And I got one of those, couscous with lentils and spinach. So I'm definitely looking forward to diving into that one. I'm just sticking trash into the corn nut bag. So there are the ranch corn nuts. Looks like this applesauce cake took a bit of a hit. So it's going to come out in pieces. And it's sticking to the inside of the pouch, but that's okay. Maybe I should have got a bowl for this since it got beat up so bad. So there is the applesauce cake. I still may go get a bowl, but I got it here, so I'm okay with that. I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of this Propel. It definitely does taste like artificial grape, but because it has no colors, it basically looks like cloudy water. I'm going to go ahead and get some of these corn nuts. That packaging is the same type that you could get in a store. The corn nuts taste like they have been around a while. I couldn't find the best buy date on there, but they're still good. They don't taste like they're totally stale. But this is what the applesauce cake looks like. It is really good. It's not dense at all. Not as dense as some of the other pound cakes or the muffin tops, but there's a good hint of the cinnamon and the apple flavor. It actually has a bit more of the apple flavor than apple cinnamon First Strike bar. But as I said, that one did take a bit of a hit, but I'm okay with that. I do like that 3-in-1 coffee. And there is there's sunshine in the house. And so what you saw when you look at the chat, what you saw Art did, he dropped a super chat. And if you're new to watching live streams of monetized channels and they have the super chat turned on, that is basically a donation to the channel. So I use that when it's combined with my ad revenue to either purchase rations or an item to test or something to up my video game, so to speak. Of course, I can't do any video editing or transfer onto my computer right now if I were to use my action camera or my other handheld video camera, because my computer decided to crap out and it won't recover itself. The only thing I have not tried is doing the full recovery as if I were to literally wipe the hard drive. I have not gone that far yet, so I've been watching videos on this old Galaxy S5 or my other smartphone. Although I could use a tablet if I wanted a bigger screen, but they run a lot slower than even this old Galaxy S5 that I've had since 2014. But anyway, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to flip the tortillas over on the pot lid, and I'll take the kettle that I brought in the hot water for my coffee back in to the kitchen, because warm tortillas will make them easier to open up. I grabbed the cheese spread, but I'm going to leave it inside I'm not going to open it quite yet, but it's made it quite loose, so it should be easier to spread. I'm going to check the chat. So that's, that basically explains how the super chat works, and even if someone just drops $1 in a super chat, that definitely helps out, even though Google takes their cut of it. It still helps out, just like when someone does the channel membership and joins a channel, which works somewhat like Patreon. And I have a Patreon account, I just don't actively plug it. And I set up the channel membership so that if someone isn't quite so sure about Patreon or just wants to see another option, I just made that available. It just sits there. If anyone wants to do it, that's fine. If they don't, I'm totally fine with that, because I'm not in it to try to make a living off of it. I just do it as an option if someone does want to support the channel. And I did watch a video earlier today of someone who decided to set up a Patreon account so that his viewers can financially support his channel. And to help him do what he does down in Australia. It's one of the Australian channels that I watch. But anyway, I'm going to go back for the... And there's Sunshine. Thanks for that super chat. I do appreciate it. And if someone in another country does it, for instance, say if someone in England is in the chat and drops a super chat, it would show as British pounds. But then when that goes into my account, it's converted to dollars. Or if Cyanide Cookies in Australia, when he does it, it shows as Australian dollar. Or if a Canadian does it, it shows as a Canadian dollar. So that's how that works. So for those that have never seen a super chat before, that's how it works. And they're very much appreciated. I'm going to go ahead and get the main out. It should be done, and I'll grab the tortillas as well. I'll be right back. Hey, I am back. There was a paper label on here, but as it was boiling, it just completely slid off. Of course, if I would have put this in the ration heater, would have done the same. I didn't even notice it because I just pulled it out and I saw this side. I just use this to carry any hot things in. Now this one has goes across this way instead of going across this way. So I just shake it down so that when I'm ripping the top, there we go, get that back into frame. side is sticky from that label, so I'm going to do it this way. There's chicken, there's corn, there's rice, there's either bell pepper or tomato. I'm not sure which, but the rice is very soft. The trays, but that's okay. The chicken is like a pulled chicken. There's a closer look at a piece of the chicken. There are the tortillas. I think these got a little bit toasty, but they opened up real easy. Easy to separate. I'm going to go ahead and squirt some of this cheese on here. Guess my hole wasn't as big as I thought it was, but that's okay. I got the cheese on there. I'm going to go ahead and take some of this. Some of this chicken might be just a tad bit big for this, but I won't put too much on here. Yep. There is Dub C in the house. I have the chicken burrito bowl and the chipotle tortillas. I have a cheese spread with jalapenos. I have ranch corn nuts and a totally crumbled up applesauce cake. Yeah, it is very good. The jalapeno cheese does give it a bit more of a kick, which is nice. By the way, the beans in this are nice and firm. The rice is a bit soft, but other than that, it's really, really good. So there is what it looks like with a bit of the cheese in there. Yeah, it is definitely something to get, even if you get the regular USMRE, whatever that menu is, or if you get the entree alone from whatever seller you go with. Yeah, it's good. And when you pair it with the chipotle tortilla, which has a bit of its own kick, and the jalapeno cheese, you can't go wrong. In fact, this jalapeno cheese does not quite taste as salty as the plain cheese spread, which I do like. I think the jalapeno kind of cuts that down. Now, plain tortillas would have been okay, but if you get the chipotle ones, that really makes for a spiced up meal. The chicken is not dry at all. Yeah, definitely get it. Yeah, this, for those that came in late, a Z-Ration 24-hour, but this was a custom one, so I chose the components, and I just have the rest of them in this bag, because I'm going to be saving that for next week's dinner. So I will have the Bridgeford wrap, the cobbler, and I may experiment with crumbling that chocolate chip cookie bar into the cobbler. And I have the chocolate for strike bar, and then that chocolate peanut spread. There was not anything extra to go with it, so I'm just going to save that and put that into my stash. You do not see those very often in MREs, so to get that is a treat. So I'll save that for when I want to do some kind of a dessert thing. But this right here, this This is good. I wish I had a couple more tortillas to use the rest of this. Of course, I'll finish it up. This house blend Taster's Choice came with this ration, but no creamer or sugar, so I opted for one of the 3-in-1 coffees that CT sent me. He sent me a bunch of this is the house, the original, and then the yellow one is the French vanilla. So this one will just go into my instant coffee stash. In fact, I bought a box of the hazelnut Taster's Choice instant coffee yesterday when I did some shopping. So I have those for another time when I might need or want something different. I'll squeeze the rest of this cheese on top of that and just eat it like that. I could stick a couple of these corn nuts in there, but because they're ranch flavor, I'm not sure how well that would work in there. But I'll pop a couple in there. So Deb C would call this a megabyte. Now that gives a little bit of a crunch, but the ranch flavor yeah, it does work, but it tones down some of the spiciness, and I like that kick. I dropped one, but I'll pick that up later. But I'll stick a few more in there. Now, if you're falling asleep, maybe it's time to go to bed. Or have some of this. Or some of this. Oh wow, I saw that picture earlier of that wall, and that's looking nice. Oh, that's okay. I mean, as long as you're in a place where it's okay if you nod off. Propel grape. Yeah, no doubt. I remember years ago when one of my sisters bought a house. It was definitely a fixer, and we did a lot of work to get it so it's livable and up to code. And then bit by bit, my sister and another sister who lives with her have been doing a couple of things with some help from some other people. And so the basement got a little bit of work. The stairs going down to the basement got a little work. You know, they painted both the outside and the inside, and just done a little bit in the yard and on their deck. So if you do it bit by bit and not overwhelm yourself, it'll still come out good in the end, and it'll be like you want it. And because you're doing it, you get to pick out what you want it to look like. Yeah, that's definitely a job. When I lived in the previous place, I kept having circuits blow, so I got one of the breakers in there upgraded to a higher capacity, so that solved that problem. Now that is good. Yep. But oh, all those stories those walls could tell. So that house may have seen a bit of history when it was first built. Well, maybe stop for the night, but then tomorrow or next week pick it up again, you know. The sooner you get it done, while you got easy access to supplies and materials, the better off you'll be. Yep. I used to enjoy helping my dad with stuff. And of course, in high school, I took shop classes. The accessory pack for this is just this. It's your basic catering company supply a plastic fork, a plastic spoon, a plastic knife, all of which I save. And then a small napkin, and salt and pepper, and that is it for the accessory pack. Then of course the 2 wet wipes with 2 different flag designs. And it looks like the ink from one of these bled over onto the other one. Looks like this one was pressed against this one, and the ink kind of bled over. Just squeezing out the last bit of cheese. Stuffing the trash into the tortilla wrapper. Yep, that cheese definitely gives this a bit more of a kick. I don't know if since it's been a while since I've seen someone open up a USMRE with this chicken burrito bowl in it. I don't remember if it comes with a hot sauce or what kind of tortillas it has in it, but I'm pretty sure it has tortillas in it. But I would definitely get that one. By the way, I did get my discount code for Minotaur Trading Company. So I was poking around on the site, seeing what I might want to burn that $50 on. Of course, it does not include shipping. And since I got prescriptions and paid a hefty electric bill, I won't be able to cover the shipping. but I'm sure that code will still be good for a while. But I've been poking around the site, but I think it'll probably be good to wait to use that code until I see some more of the new stuff. And I placed an order shortly at the beginning of this month, or maybe I think I placed the order after I got back from my trip, the next day, because I came back on the 31st, and on the 1st of this month I placed that order. And so I ordered some of the new things like the cheesecake, the powdered milks, another MRE, one of their MREs, and a couple other items, including the flask. I ordered one of those flasks. But I will not use it for alcohol unless it's for my alcohol stove, because I have one of those Trangias now. I may use it for that, or I may use it for some other liquid that I might want to take to a camp and keep it in a secure bottle. I don't know how well it would do for using it to carry cooking oil. It holds 8 ounces. But I do have that little bottle of olive oil that I got from Minotaur Trading Company in their mystery box. Oh yeah, I do hope to go camping again at least one more time this year, but I seriously doubt that's going to happen. Yeah, in fact, I used that same code. I used OS 10 when I placed that order last Saturday, but the code that I got specifically for me was my prize for that honorable mention for the Minotaur cooking contest. I got an honorable mention for my chicken biryani. But what I want to do is get one of the mess kits. I don't know if you can. No, looks like you can only use one discount code at a time. But all the other times I've placed Minotaur orders, I keep forgetting to use a code. But this last time I did use Smokies. And so I got a little bit knocked off price, the total of my order. But I will use my code next time I order. But that's the way the form is set up. It's just like a lot of other sites where you can only use one discount code. Or, you can only use one coupon when you're buying something in a store instead of two of them at the same time. But I'm okay with that. one of the items I got from Foreign Emery was that a second one of those German emergency rations. And I did look, there have been other reviews of that ration. Mickey Joe has done one, and he shouted out another channel that did one, and there have been a few other reviews of that. But I'm still going to go ahead and open one of those up, and I still haven't decided if I'm going to go ahead and make the tea that's in there and actually eat one of the bars, or just open it up, look at the contents, and then just close it back up. Yeah, that would definitely be one that I would order next, is that brew kit. Yeah, I don't doubt it. But yeah, that brew kit that they now have would be definitely something to put in an emergency kit, or even your EDC bag or whatever, get home bag. All that's missing would that be water and way to heat it up if you're going to heat up water for the coffee or the tea. Yeah, I do want to get one of those brew kits. There is ZPD. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, this one was a custom, the 24-hour Z ration. Chicken burrito bowl. Chipotle tortillas. Jalapeno cheese spread. And this is applesauce cake, but it took a serious beating. But it's still good. It's very crumbly, but it's very good. If I had a pack of that cream cheese icing, that would go good on this, and I would have put that in a bowl and then just squirted the icing all over it. And maybe mixed it up and just ate it with a spoon. But that cake is good, though. And I still have a bunch of items left in the bag, which I will have for my dinner next time. It only came with this one coffee and the Propel, no other drink mixes, so I will just get into my stash. And do it that way. I might do what CT has done. There is Tracy Phillips in the house. He mixed two of these together, one of these and one of these, to make a double coffee. So I might try that just for the sheer heck of it. The chicken burrito bowl was what I had here. And chipotle tortillas. And that was pretty good. Putting a jalapeno cheese spread on there. That made it pretty good. And I even put a few of these ranch corn nuts on there for a little crunch. Cracker video. Did Tracy, did you put up a cracker video? Just crackers? Is that challenge that I've heard about where you just eat a couple of emery crackers dry with without taking a drink? Or is that something else involving crackers? Yeah, that's a challenge I've heard about. I've never done it. But since I'm a bit of a cracker snacker, I would probably not have too many issues with it. In fact, I've done that. I just want a bit of a snack. I'll just grab those emery crackers and just rip into it. There is Sleepy Dog. I guess done messing with concrete for the day. Now you should check out that channel. Even if you're not a construction worker yourself, it's still fun to watch that. Yeah, I mean, it's just cool to see the process of how these big projects get done when you're not around it all the time. Just for a change of pace from stuff that you normally watch, but I enjoy watching that channel. And you might even recognize who is behind that channel. As I was saying earlier about that German ration, since I have two of them, I will open one. The other one I will be leaving sealed In fact, I have already chosen which one I will open up and which one will be left sealed. And when I'm done with the review of the one that I will open, I will send the remainder of it along with the sealed one to the Ration Museum, because he does not have an example of that particular ration. So he has a similar type ration that's in a can, but not in the cardboard box. So I sent him pictures of it after I got the first one. You know what, if I'm going to get another one, then I can open one, leave the other one sealed, and offer it as a donation to the Ration Museum. So that's what I'm going to do. But the guy behind the Ration Museum is camping this weekend, so that's why he did not have his usual Sunday stream. But he will next week, next Sunday at 4 o'clock Central, that's 5 Eastern. And he'll have an update on the move of all of the inventory and the start of cataloging and just sorting through the stuff, and seeing how they're going to arrange it in their new space. And I also told him that I have some military script notes. I still got to dig through those to see if I have any duplicates of some of them, and I would send a couple of those off along with the rations. Now, my brother has done a little bit of that, but he is a drywaller. But the company that he works for will sometimes put him on roofing jobs if there are not any walls to put the drywall on. I mean, he'll put the sheetrock up, he'll screw it into place, he does the mudding and taping and the texturing. In fact, my sisters, two sisters who share a house, in fact, he did the drywall in that house. He did the texturing of the ceilings in some of the rooms in that house, so we got to make use of his skills for that. Thanks for dropping in, Sunshine. Do come back next time or whenever you can. Yep. It's something that would be a good skill to have. And even though I live in an apartment, if the crap should hit the fan and I got a big hole in a wall and the maintenance person is not around to patch it, then I'll just do it myself. The heck with what the landlord says, because who knows, they may not be around to even care. But I had those supplies when I lived in the condo that I lived in, because I was doing a bit of basic jobs myself, but I did have a crew come in through a program called Rebuilding Together, and they took care of some of the major stuff, like replacing windows and replacing rotted wood on the outside of the building, and took down some crappy wallpaper that was shredding because it was a woven grass cloth, and my cat loves shredding that. But it was already shredded, before I even moved in. So then painted that, and but some of the other stuff, little fixes myself, I would do that. And even here I've tightened up some screws in door hinges, cabinet door hinges and stuff like that. Nope. But you're doing it? And that, that's what counts when you're doing stuff like that. Making the place your own. Yep, I've replaced doorknobs. Had to find longer screws because there's a bit of missing wood in the door frame, and needed longer screws just to get to it to secure it in place. But I happened to have them, so I did it. And when it comes to electrical stuff, I'll get someone else to do it. Same with the plumbing, where it might involve soldering and stuff like that. For one thing, I don't have the tools for it. I've never been actually taught how to do it, and even in an informal way. I have watched it being done, but I've never done it myself. But I'll replace a shower head and things like that. Oh, they must have done that for soundproofing, or poor excuse for insulation. That just doesn't sound right, to have it on the surface of the drywall instead of behind it. But we've had those same kind of issues in this building where I'm living. There were some things that were done that were so far out of code that this property got cited by city inspectors. And the previous management did not like it at all. They did not like being cited by the city for these code violations. And when I first moved in here, I found out later on that the manager was not doing very good with the record keeping. So there were issues with that. And we had people coming in here who did not belong here, or catch people sleeping in the laundry room. Well, that's still good that, you got that skill, so might as well use it. In one place I lived, there was a leak that was coming from above me. The manager wanted to ding me for that, for the leak that was coming from the apartment above me. Now I don't see how that could happen. Gravity doesn't work that way. But that was so bad I had to spend a week in a hotel because I had damage to my closets, my dressers, and I had to empty everything out of my closet so it could be repaired. So that meant I had no bed space. I had all my clothes on my shelf, or on my, not only on my bed, but on my other furniture, my couch. I had just a little bit of space for me to eat my meals at my table, but that was pretty much it. I couldn't take showers. I couldn't even take a bath. And I really had to keep pushing the up button to get their insurance to reimburse me at least for part of my hotel room. They gave me I think 70% of that, and maybe about 50% of my material losses of stuff I had to throw away. But the manager wanted to ding me for the leak that was caused by the idiot who was living above me. That just seemed downright stupid. I don't know where she got the idea for that. But I got out of there when things really started to go south there, and I was afraid I was going to get evicted for reporting any more problems, so I left. I left the condo because there were some things going down there. There's some issues with not getting some things done that was supposed to be handled by the board. And not individual condo residents. Plus, those buildings are starting to shift anyway because they're built on fill. And that was not known to the first residents until several years later, when one of the buildings started to literally bend. Yeah, things are starting to get weird here in Des Moines, but when I left Arkansas to come back to Iowa, I figured Des Moines would be the best place. You know, not very many cities here in Iowa have public transportation. So unless I literally lived on top of or within a few blocks of all the places I would need to go in another town, I would have to depend on others to get me where I need to go. More than I really want to. I have lived in small towns when I was younger. I think up until I came here to Des Moines, other than when I was in college in Arkansas and Conway, I think the biggest town I had lived in was Fremont, Nebraska. When we lived there, my dad worked for a pest control company called Presto X, and I believe that's still in business. At least I checked it several years ago. It's still in business. So my dad worked for them. And my mom worked at a local pizza joint called Andy's Pizza. And we used to hang around the pizza joint when we were not in school. So my two oldest sisters were actually old enough to kind of help out a little bit. Obviously, they couldn't do certain jobs around the place, but, you know, we'd sometimes help clean up after clothes, or, you know, if there was no one in the place, you know, we might help clean up and, you know, things like that. But, you know, my mom would get pizzas to bring home. And of course, when my dad worked for Presto X, he did our own pest control, because he always took his equipment back home every night. And he would park the truck, you know, in the driveway, instead of having to drive to the place where the company was located, and then switch from his vehicle to the work truck. But I enjoyed living in Fremont. I was only there for 4 years, but still, I enjoyed living there. Then here in Iowa, from 76 to like 83, or no, it was 79. I first lived in Adair, and then we moved to Casey. And the Casey had, I think it's still there, the favorite student hangout was the Happy Chef, and we always call it the Happy Crap. But yeah, that was the main hangout in Casey, was the Happy Chef. And then after that, my parents got to work at the Des Moines YMCA camp, which is outside of Boone. That's on the Des Moines River. So we got to live there, yeah, rent-free. We didn't have to pay for utilities like electric and gas or water. But when we got to, we got to have cable TV there, and when no one was using the camp, then we got to use the boats, the little canoes or sailboats, ride the horses. There is Daniel. Thanks for dropping in. I only have my applesauce cake. I got into my 24-hour custom zombie ration, and I ate a chicken burrito bowl with the chipotle tortillas and the jalapeno cheese spread, the ranch flavored corn nuts. And I swapped out this coffee, this plain Taster's Choice, for this Nescafe 3-in-1. This is a bunch that the CT sent me. And I mixed up the Propel grape flavored drink mix, so it looks like this. Just looks like cloudy water. And this drinking jar holds about 12 or 13 ounces, depending on how much you fill it. So instead of going for the full amount that those Propel powders usually go for, the 16-ounce water bottles. Yeah, Letha's been around a bit. Yeah, that's okay. So, what I have left so this is what the All MRE's 24-hour zombie ration looks like. It's a red bag. They're single meal zombie rations. They're a black bag. And instead of a menu number or name, it's custom because I chose the components. But what I have left are peanut chocolate spread, the Bridgeford beef wrap with Mexican spices. I have the cherry blueberry cobbler. I have a chocolate First Strike bar. And then there's this, it's easier to see when I open this side, it's the chocolate chip cereal bar. What I'm thinking of doing is crumbling this into that cobbler. I'm not sure how easy this will be to crumble, but I'm going to try it just for kicks. But I will get into my own stash for the drinks because it only came with one coffee and the Propel. So I may do what CT did. He mixed this vanilla, the French vanilla 3-in-1 coffee and the original 3-in-1 coffee. He mixes those together. Well, I don't know if I could upload any of this apple cake. I think that might just end up being a huge mess. I don't think USB holes are made to put cake through. Yeah, that seems to be the thing. If some people watch a ration review and they want to go get some food themselves. Of course, I'm not always like that because when I was fasting during Ramadan, I still watch ration videos. Yeah, I could do that. But I still couldn't upload it. I do have a whole bunch of those sweetened condensed milk packets. But I would prefer the cream cheese icing. Oh yeah, I used to watch Food Network when I had cable or a satellite. But when I moved here, I did not bring a TV. I have recently signed up for Hulu, but in order to watch the show that Old Smokey was on, the Eating History, I would have to upgrade my subscription. Yeah, the cream cheese icing that you can get in pouches is actually not too bad. It's not up there with my mom's cream cheese icing that she used to make all the time. But it's actually not that bad. Yeah, I would definitely give something a good home if it gives you heartburn, Aletha. I wouldn't mind that. I'm still open to doing some kind of a trade. I still have those more packs that I just opened. I have not eaten any of them. The Ration one has a pizza slice in it. That's the only one that has something like that in it, that Ration put in theirs. And then I have the one that, the Minotaur Trading Company version. That would be pretty cool. And I have 7 other pizza slices. There are all the Sterling foods. I do not have any of the Bridgeford ones. I remember watching a video of G. Schultz doing a comparison, or no, I think it was R.C. Gusto did a comparison of the Bridgeford and the Sterling pizza slices. So either it was him or G. Schultz, one of those two did that. I know R.C. Gusto did when comparing the pizza slice from a U.S. Emery to the vegetarian version from a European ration. It had a soy protein meat substitute on it. Oh, I hope that cancer check goes well and the treatment is working. Before I even started kindergarten, I had some of my eye surgeries in Iowa City. And then a few times after that, I still had to go back there to see a specialist, but I haven't been back there for anything medical in years. The only other time I'd ever been back to Iowa City was I was with a group that went to the campus, and we hung out with some women from a sorority. There is dark matter in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I ate almost all of the food that I planned to eat tonight. I just have applesauce cake. But I do thank you for dropping in. All the chicken, the burrito bowl stuff is gone. But my other eye surgeries were done in Omaha, Nebraska. Yep, every Sunday. So I'm gonna stick with this 7 o'clock time period. That seems to work well for a lot of people. I was doing it at 6 Central. Of course, that was before Ramadan, and when that started, I shifted to after sunset. And so then I decided that, I think 7 o'clock would be a good time, and so far that seems to be working out. So next Sunday, I'll eat the rest of the stuff that came in this bag. And then after that, I think I will go to the halal MRE that CT had sent me, as he had one. And, in another chat, I mentioned that I did want to try some more of the halal MREs. So he said he had one, so he offered to send it to me. And then he sent me some other goodies, some stuff from Canadian Rations and the fruit soups. I ate one of those last week, and I did it with hot water. I still have the other one, and I'll mix that up in cold water and see how that works. But doing it hot is how I've seen others do it, and I thought that was very good done like that. Yeah, in that case, what they would do is they would, if Ramadan happens during the time in the summer where when there's 24-hour sunlight, or the sun just comes close to going down but doesn't quite make it down past the horizon, then what they would do is they would go to, they would pick fasting times off of a city farther south. And it would be the same in the winter when there's no sun. They would do the same thing. They would choose to follow what would be done in a city farther south that does have the full day-night cycle. And History Savior's in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Sorry, I don't have much left. You missed the first meal of this 24-hour zombie ration. It's a custom, and I chose the chicken burrito bowl, chipotle tortillas, jalapeno cheese spread, applesauce cake, which took a serious hit because it just got smashed, but it's still good. The corn nuts, their ranch flavor, had a Propel grape drink, and this is what it looks like mixed up. And it only came with the one Taster's Choice coffee, but I went for a 3-in-1. This did not come with the sugar or creamer. It came with utensils, but I used my foreign emery spork. But these utensils are actually not that bad. They seem pretty so these will simply go into my stash of plastic utensils that I keep for in the case I have to switch over because I don't have regular water service. It came with salt and pepper and a skimpy little napkin that you would get with these catering company utensil sets. And I've seen a lot of these types of things when I've gone to places where there would be a catered meal, but it would be lunch boxes where you get a box of food with a sandwich, maybe a bag of chips, maybe a whole fruit like an apple, an orange, or banana, or maybe a cookie, and you get a separate drink, and maybe some condiment packets. And that was the meal for that particular event. So but that's what was in there. And then the ration heater, which I did not use. I've seen this show up in a few other videos. Look how big that thing is. It's longer than my tray. The bag is just longer than the tray. And it has the same, what it calls activator. And it's salt water. That's all it is salt water. It's the same saltwater bag that was in the Chef 5-Minute Meals thing that I did last week, which I did not use. The foam tray was a bit suspect, but the heating element that's in here, I got the element to shake down. It's the same element. So this is how big the element is this way, and then it's almost the width of the bag this way, so that's a pretty good size element. So this would be great for sorry about that, I just got interrupted. I could put a British ration retort pouch in here and it would fit. I could put a canned item, say from a Russian ration or a Polish or Lithuanian ration in this and have room to spare. I could put, I have the heater meals that I will also be reviewing later on. It has a smaller ration heater in it, but that thing had a best buy date of 2014, so I will boil that one instead of use the ration heater. But the one time that I did try to use it, it only started kicking off after I had given up and put it in the microwave and heated it up that way, and I had already started eating it when that thing finally decided to kick off. Sorry, nothing pig here. I will not eat pig brain. It just does not sound like it would be a decent flavor. I have seen head cheese. It just plain looks weird. But it did not sound appetizing to me. Well, this thing also, I'll show this again. This is the Cool Mint Military Energy Gum. It's got caffeine in it. I have heard of Scrapple. I've seen videos of it. And from what I understand, that's like a Northeast thing. It's up in the Northeast New England states. But it sounds like something that you could customize, where there would be different versions of it, just like the Philly cheesesteak. There may be different versions of that. Yeah, I'm not a gum chewer, but I have saved all of these packets that I've gotten so that if I'm in a situation where I need some an energy, a kick in the old Polish dupa. But I didn't either have time or the means to actually make up some coffee or tea with caffeine in it. And I had to keep moving. I would chew that energy gum. I used to be a gum chewer when I was younger, but as I got older, I just got tired of it. Maybe once in a while, if someone offers me a piece, I might do it just to be appreciative. But I normally don't buy it for myself. But I did choose. I don't remember if I chose this or if this is just a standard thing in these 24-hour zombie rations. I did not get one of those gummy body parts, though. I was kind of disappointed at. I was hoping to see one of those, but I got. Yeah, there's 2 moist towelettes, and it looks like this one is on top of here, and the ink bled onto this one, so that looks kind of weird. But that's okay. But that chicken burrito bowl, I have been wanting to try that main for some time since I heard about it and seen others do videos on it. It was worth it. I would definitely get that MRE with it just to see what other things would come in from a different source, say from a US MRE, or if another company like Minotaur Trading Company or Ration would do their version, what they would put in the bag. Yeah, in fact, I actually made hash not all that long ago, or I attempted it. I had a bag of the thin cut frozen hash browns, and I had some beef cubes that it was bigger than the pieces are bigger than I would normally have gotten, but so I still did it, and I put my own seasonings in it, so I basically made myself a beef hash. Yeah, that would that might be there a channel I watch, Sean Woods. He tests out all kinds of animal traps and deterrents. I don't know if he's ever done giving gum to a pest animal like a rat and see what it would do. I guess I made a ZPD hungry because it's kitchen run time. That foreignMRA.com mug is empty. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call this one done, since I have left is my great drink. What's left of it, the Propel. So next Sunday will be the rest of this, but in the middle of the week I will go ahead and do a separate video on that German emergency ration that some call a pilot ration, although the box does not specifically say for pilots, I don't think. I haven't tried to translate all of the Deutsch that's on there. But yeah, I will do a separate video on that. And I will put a tag of Ration Museum on there that, and I'll mention that I'm dig up that script to see which ones I can send them, because I want to keep a few of those. I do want to send them some military script, because I'm pretty sure that soldiers would use that type of currency alternative for buying stuff in the places where they were posted. But yeah, for those that came in late, once YouTube is done processing this, it'll be ready for playback, and you can catch the beginning. But again, the rest of this next week. But during the week, I'll knock out that German ration video and then put that up. And I should also be getting my order from Ration pretty soon, so I can add the ration that is in there to the lineup. And then that will give me some other stuff I can have some fun with. So I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank Foreign MRE and Sunshine for dropping the super chats. That's greatly appreciated. So stay tuned for next week. And History Museum will be back on next Sunday at 5 Eastern, 4 Central. So go check it out. See what's up with that. And of course, check out other ration reviewers. We got a good community going here. So thanks for watching, and catch you on the flip side.